2 years, 730 days. Feels like both a lifetime and no time at all. Zara got the job, not at Harlow and Grant. They called her father, listened to everything he had to say, apologized profusely, and offered her the position immediately. She turned it down, not out of pride, not out of anger, but because during those 3 weeks of waiting, while her father made calls and Maya researched lawyers, and Renee's emails sat like poison in an inbox, Zara had realized something. She didn't want a job she had to fight that hard to keep. She wanted a place that chose her immediately. Clearly holy, the way she should have been chosen her whole life. She talks to her father every Sunday, not at the house. On video, he shows her his garden, she shows him her new apartment. They don't talk about the past much. They're too busy building something new. Her father's face is healthier now, smiling, genuinely happy to see her. Morning, love. Morning, Dad. You're up early. Couldn't sleep. Your mum made me promise to ask you something. She wants to know if you'll come for Christmas. Just us three. No Darius, no Jade, and definitely not Renee. Zara took a breath. 2 years ago, that question would have felt like a trap. Now it just felt like a question. I'll think about it, Dad. That's not a no? That's not a no? Her father's face flooded with relief, eyes getting wet. That's all I can ask for. I'll tell your mum, she's been baking for 3 days just in case. Zara laughed, real. Light laughter. They talked for 40 minutes about nothing important. His tomatoes, her new project at work, the weather. Normal things. Father-daughter things. The kind of things they should have had for the last 30 years. Better late than never. Later that day, Zara was at a Cafe C laptop open. Working, a woman approached, early 30s, professional, nervous energy. Her name was Kemi. A mentee Zara had taken on 6 months ago. Through a program for women from difficult family backgrounds trying to build careers from scratch. Thank you for meeting me, Zara. I know you're busy. Zara closed her laptop, full attention. The way someone does when they know what it feels like not to have anyone's attention. Never too busy for you. What's going on? My family's been asking for money again. I just started this job 3 months ago. I'm barely covering rent. But they keep saying family helps family. And I feel so guilty, but Zara reached across the table, hand on Kemi's hand, stopping her gently. And Zara, who had lived this exact moment in a different shape, but the same feeling, said the words she wished someone had said to her. Family helps family, but you are family too. You are allowed to help yourself first. That's not selfish, that's survival. And survival is sacred. Kemi's eyes filled, nodding. Like she'd been waiting her whole life to hear that. They talked for 2 hours. Zara told her pieces of her story. Not all of it, just the parts that mattered. The parts that said you're not alone. The parts that said you'll survive this. The parts that said there's life after a family that doesn't see you. That evening, Zara walked home, city lights calm. She stopped at a flower stand, bought a single sunflower for herself. Just because she thought about Renee sometimes. Not often, but sometimes her mother had told her quietly, carefully, that Renee's marriage had ended, that she'd moved back in with them for a few months. That she was struggling. Zara felt something when she heard that, not satisfaction, not even pity, just distance. The kind of distance that means you've truly moved on. She didn't reach out. She didn't gloat. She just lived her life, the best revenge. The quietest victory. That night, Zara sat by the window, the sunflower in a vase. City glowing below. She opened an old photo album, one she'd kept but never looked at. There's a photo she'd forgotten about. Young Zara, maybe 8 years old, at her grandmother's house. Smiling huge, covered in flour, baking cookies. Her grandmother, the one person who always saw her, who called her by her full name, Zara Marie, like it was a song, who let her lick the spoon, who told her she was brilliant, who meant it. Her grandmother had died when Zara was 11, and Zara had spent the next 20 years looking for that feeling again. Someone who saw her really saw her. Without her having to beg for it, Zara traced the photo with her finger, smiling softly, and then one day she realized she had become that person. For herself, she saw herself now. Clearly, wholly, without apology. The way her grandmother once did, the way everyone should have, A knock at the door, unexpected. A delivery person holding a small package and an envelope. Zara Mitchell. Yes. This came for you. Zara took it, confused. Looking at the envelope, no return address. Just her name, handwritten, familiar handwriting. She knew that handwriting. She'd seen it on birthday cards that arrived 3 weeks late, on grocery lists stuck to the fridge. On notes left to everyone else. Never for her, her mother. Zara sat down, opened the envelope slowly, pulled out a letter and something else. A photo. The essay certificate, first place. The one her father kept in his bedside drawer, now framed, beautifully professionally. Zara's hand shook slightly. She read the letter. Zara. Your father asked me to do this 25 years ago. I didn't. I told him you wouldn't care, that you were independent. That word I used like a shield, so I didn't have to admit I was failing you. I'm not writing to ask for forgiveness. I don't deserve it. I'm writing because you deserved a mother who celebrated you. And I wasn't that. I looked at you and saw someone who didn't need me when the truth is I was terrified. I wasn't enough for you. You were the smartest of all my children, even at 9 years old. The most capable, the most self-sufficient. And instead of being proud, I resented you for it. Because you reminded me of my own mother. The woman I could never please. The woman who made me feel small, and I didn't want to feel small in my own home. So I made you invisible instead. I don't expect you to understand. I don't expect you to come for Christmas, though I hope you do. I just wanted you to know that every Sunday for 2 years I've watched your father light up when he talks to you. And I've realized I missed the chance to see you become this person. But I see you now. You're extraordinary, Zara. You always were. I just wasn't brave enough to say it. Your father found the certificate in the bin 25 years ago. He kept it all this time. I should have framed it then. Better 25 years late than never. Mum. Zara lowered the letter, tears streaming down her face. She picked up the framed certificate, ran her fingers over it. She hung it on her wall that night, right by the window, where the morning light would hit it, where she would see it every single day. Not because she needed the validation anymore, but because that little girl who won first place and got told to put it on the fridge deserved to see it celebrated. Even if it took 25 years, even if she had to do it herself. Christmas Day, Zara pulled up to the house. The same house, but different now. She sat in the car for a moment, took a deep breath. She went for Christmas not because she owed them. Not because she'd forgiven everything, but because forgiveness isn't a switch you flip. It's a door you walk through, a little bit more. Every time you're ready. The front door opened before she even knocked, her father, her mother behind him. Both of them older, smaller, humbled. They didn't rush her, they just waited. Let her come in on her own terms. Zara stepped inside the hallway, the same photos on the wall, but wait, a new one. Added recently, Zara at her graduation, one she didn't even know they had. She stopped, stared at it. Her mother's voice quiet, nervous. Maya sent it to us. 2 months ago, she thought we should have it. Zara turned, looked at her mother, tears already falling, not saying anything, just holding space. Zara stepped forward into her mother's arms. For the first time in decades, both of them shaking, both of them crying. They held each other for a long time, and it wasn't perfect, it didn't erase anything. But it was real, and real was enough. For now, the three of them at the dinner table, laughing, talking, eating. Just 3 people, no ghosts. No perfect siblings. Just them. They didn't talk about Renee. Or Darius or Jade. They just talked about Zara's work, her apartment, her plans for next year, the life she had built. The one they were finally paying attention to. Later, Zara helped her mother with dishes side by side, quiet, comfortable. Her mother said, I know I don't get to say this, but I'm proud of you. Zara paused. Hands in soapy water, she didn't turn around, just nodded, I know. And that was enough. Zara drove home that evening, city lights peace on her face. She picked up her phone at a red light, opened her voice notes, recorded one for herself, note to self, the 25th of December. I went home today and I didn't disappear. I stayed visible, I stayed whole, I stayed me. The child they forgot became the woman who remembered herself. And that is the ending I choose. That night, Zara stood by the window, the framed certificate catching the light, the city alive below. She was smiling, peaceful. Home. Some stories don't end with justice. Some don't end with revenge. Some end with something quieter. Something harder. They end with a person standing in their own life, looking at everything they built from nothing, and realizing they didn't just survive. They became for everyone who was the forgotten child. You are seen now by the person who matters most. You.